on this Somewhere in Time. You're listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from July 9th, 1996.
Hi, Art. I always love it when the paranoids start calling you. I bet that 24-hour gas station in your town really is a secret underground alien installation. I used to make custom knives and sell them at gun shows all over the Pacific Northwest. There wasn't one show that I went to that I didn't hear people talking about the government. At first I thought it was pretty funny that people could be so paranoid, but after 3 years, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to quit going to the shows. Some of the people I met were pretty scary, Art. Well, that tempts me to open a paranoia line. In fact, I hereby do it. Restricting my first-time caller line to paranoids. Anybody paranoid, truly paranoid, can call. And now to my international line. You are upon the air in America and the world. Where are you calling from, please?
From Opterschwang in Germany, which is very near the Austrian border.
Oh, that's right. You can see Austria, can you not, on a clear day?
Indeed, from my office window.
Must be nice.
It's about 15 miles away, and we're getting terrible weather here. 2 feet of new snow in the Alps.
Yikes.
Yikes, and they had to stop the Tour de France.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so it's really pretty bad. Now, not to take up too much of your time, I would like to discuss the idea of small-time investors, just your individual investor, investing in gold or any other kind of precious metal or precious rocks.
Okay.
It's a terrible idea.
Why?
Because gold, for example, needs to be stored. It costs to store. It does not provide a return on your investment. It may hedge you against inflation, but Pat Robertson has been saying for 2 years that gold is going to go to $500 an ounce, and it's done nothing but go down. And
Yes, but the stock market has been going up. And when that is the case and everything is relatively hunky-dory, that's right, gold either hangs around just below $400 or even drops. But let a hint of trouble come along. And believe me, sir, you look down a road a few years, and it's a-coming.
I disagree with you completely. Even if it is, gold is an inappropriate investment for the individual investor. It's just there's just so many things out there that are better.
It is inappropriate to put all of your money in, but so is any investment.
Well, that's true. If you want to have a few gold coins to carry around in your pocket to make you feel good, that's fine. But to even put more than about 5% of any individual's portfolio in precious metals is just simply not a good idea.
I don't disagree with you. 5-10%, somewhere in there. That's about it. Just sort of a hedge. It doesn't hurt.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you agree with me. And otherwise, the conspiracy theory is not happening, and I'll tell you why.
Which one?
The Council on Foreign Relations Trilateral Commission International Jewish Bankers Conspiracy to take over the world. That one.
I know.
It's not happening, and I'll tell you why. First of all, the sum total of human endeavor on the earth is so vast that it could not be controlled by 300 people. But more than that, what makes any of these people think that this committee of 300 who are ostensibly so greedy as to try to take over the world wouldn't try to screw each other in the process?
They would.
They would.
The answer is they would. I'm not a believer in that baloney. I don't. There are powerful people out there, and that is as it should be. But great conspiracy, I think not. And if they're running things, they're doing a damn poor job of it.
Indeed they are. Thanks very much, Art.
You're welcome. Yeah, I've never been into that, Germany. If you want to call us internationally, 2 feet of snow. Boy, it must be nice there, huh? Austria within sight. The Alps. Cool. Really cool. All right, anyway, if you want to call us internationally, the way to do it is to get the AT&T operator on the line. Call her up. Say, give me that AT&T operator. When you get her, even though she's not the MCI girl, God, she's cute, ask to call our 800 number. It's free. It will not cost you a penny from anywhere in the world. You call the AT&T USA Direct Access number, or get the operator, as I said, and then dial 800-893-0903. That's 800-893-0903. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hello.
Good evening, Art.
Good evening.
Yeah, first off, I honor you for what you're doing. You seem to me like a man that when you believe in what you're doing, you stick by your guns. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of us that support you out here, Art.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the Stan Friedman talk on Dreamland Sunday night.
Yes.
And just keep up the excellent work. You got a fantastic show, and there are a lot of people that are more than willing that listen to your radio show that want to hear the truth. If there are a lot of people out there that don't, they don't have to listen to the truth. But
well, otherwise it's not worth doing, you know.
That's absolutely true.
All right, thank you.
Okay, good night now.
Take care. No, otherwise it's not worth doing. On my paranoid line, you're on the air.
Hello, Art Bell.
Hi. Are you paranoid? Wait a minute.
What's that?
Are you paranoid?
I don't know if I'm paranoid. If I were really paranoid, I wouldn't be able to understand. All I know is I think my government's out to get me.
Well, now you're getting close. I mean, are they out to get you personally or just sort of generally?
Collectively. You see, we have this huge debt up here, right?
Yeah.
We've got this huge interest, and what they're going to try to do is get everybody to basically work for the government. In other words, take all our vitality and increase taxes here and
our precious bodily fluids.
Yeah, and especially they want to make us helpless.
Helpless.
Yeah.
Enslave us. Can you imagine Americans walking around with a big ball and chain, dragging it along, sort of with brown surf-like things, and our eyes cast down at the ground?
You got it, Art. I'll tell you, it's no different than it was back in about 1255 A.D.
I know how to talk to you guys. I mean, it's coming, right?
Well, it is coming. I'll tell you why.
Enslavement.
Yeah, well, why not?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they've got to do. They've got to enslave the people. The people up here are listless. They're tired.
Sir, do you know about the camps?
The camps?
Yes.
I don't know about the camps.
You don't know about the camps? They're built around.
There's no camps in Canada. Canada is a camp.
Are you in Canada?
Yes, I am.
Canada is a camp. Yeah,
this is one huge institution, Art, and they're making the rules, and they're making the rules more and more copious and burdensome every single day because they've got this exactly the kind of lack of imagination they've got running things here.
Where are you in Canada?
Kamloops, British Columbia.
Mm-hmm. Aren't you afraid to give away your location?
Well, no, because, like I said, it's one huge institution, and...
well, let me hear you say...
I'm in Kamloops, right?
Yeah, let me hear you say, get the government out of my life.
Get the government out of my life.
Oh, you're no Canadian.
Yes, I am. Hey?
All right, goodbye, sir. There was my first paranoid. I have a special paranoid line this morning. If you are a paranoia type person, a paranoid type person, why? That line is for you. And, of course, you have to wonder if your line is being traced. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
This is the American Observer out of Houston. How you doing, Art?
All right.
I've been wanting to commend you for some time for your show last Thursday on the voter fraud.
Oh, yes.
It was an excellent show. As a matter of fact,
what do you think of the idea of the libertarians voting by email?
I think that every American should be able to vote by email.
You do, huh?
Oh, yeah. That would be more of a, if we could overhaul the system that way and have our vote be...
Good Lord, sir. I mean, we're worried about vote machines with locks and all the rest of it, and you're talking about email?
Yes. I think it's a very good idea. But about that show, Art, what was that guy's name you had on as a guest?
Well, now I'm not... oh, you mean on vote fraud?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Well, he mentioned something about all the three parties getting together and deciding that Dole would be the nominee, but they all knew that what's his name, Buchanan would win the popular vote in the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. Now, I did some polling. It turned out to be here in Houston for Bob Dole. And all the Republicans that we called, most of them were for Buchanan. A lot of people were reluctant. Very few people were for Bob Dole. And these were hardcore Republicans.
Mm.
Because at first I was kind of skeptical about the whole idea, but when he said that, it made a lot of sense. It made a lot of sense.
To me, Bob Dole never misses an opportunity to disappoint.
No, he doesn't.
It's not funny. I mean, it's really true.
Well, I'm an independent, Art, so it's funny to me.
Whether it's a battle with a towering intellectual like Katie Couric, or it's the latest on gun control.
Yeah, that was a big mistake.
Yes, it was a big mistake.
He appeared like an ogre attacking her.
I know. I'm fed up with the whole
thing. You're depressed, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I don't even want to talk about it.
All right, have a good night, Art.
Take care. Bye. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Good morning, Art. Gary from California. How you doing?
I'm fine, Gary.
Good. Got a couple things. First, last night a woman called up asking what would happen if science could offer a definitive proof of the existence of God.
Yes.
Well, there's a book out on that very subject. It's called The Physics of Immortality, written by a professor at Tulane University.
Well, I've been trying to get immortals to call me, and I haven't had one that I really believe fully yet.
Well, I don't know, maybe he's still working through the proof and he hasn't got all the equations written down yet.
I see.
But anyway, about paranoia. I'm just wondering, if a paranoia on the level of your average citizen is so high, I wonder what the paranoia level is among people who have the burden of both being on top of the information pyramid, knowing stuff that a guy in the street has no idea about, and having to reconcile that with
what they say publicly. There are probably masses of twitching paranoia.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like it's going to turn into a big feedback loop. It ends up permeating everywhere, and the people down below get paranoid and ask questions, and the people on top get more paranoid about the people on the bottom getting paranoid, and it just starts spreading. Oh, by the way, if any feds are listening, any nation, show me a nation that doesn't cheat the tax collector, and I'll show you a nation of sheep.
I bet they've heard that before.
Well, it's reinforced early and reinforced often. Take care.
All right, take care. Let me go to my paranoia line here. On my paranoid line, you're on the air.
Hello, is this Art?
Yes, of course, you probably don't believe that, do you?
It doesn't sound like Art.
Yeah, well, it is.
Is this Art, really?
Yes, it really is. Either that, or I'm a replacement answering this phone, tracing your line.
What have you done with Art?
We can't talk about that on the air.
Who is this?
This is 347.
347? Oh,
badge number.
I think. Well, I just heard something. I have to go.
All right, goodbye. Let's see. Well, I see that line is functioning fine. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Bell.
Hello.
This is Chris in Nashville.
Yes, Chris.
Two things for you. Number one, did you happen to watch any C-SPAN this weekend?
No.
You did not?
No, what did I miss?
You missed the alternative to holding your nose and voting for Bob Dole.
Oh, no, wait a minute. No, I did watch some of it. I'm sorry. I did watch some of it, as a matter of fact. But when I watched for about an hour and a half, and it was all procedural stuff early on. In the nominating process, and it was kind of boring. They were just
right. Well, Harry Brown's acceptance speech just converted me right straight to libertarian. He's backing everything that the Republicans said they were going to do and didn't, and all the things that need to be done.
Well, that's
and if you get a chance Saturday, go see ID4. It's well worth it. Got to run. Have a good night. Good show.
Thanks. See you later. Well, I'm going to have Harry Brown on the air. I said I would do that after he was, and if he was nominated, and it looked as though he was going to be. I talked to his campaign about 4 or 5 days ago, and I told them I don't want to have him now because we've had him once, prior to the nominating process, and I wanted to wait until he was the nominee, and then he would be worth having on again. Indeed, he would be, and we'll have him on again soon. So if the Harry Brown headquarters people want to call me, we will schedule him on. I wish I could believe that a third-party candidate really could win, because, frankly, I don't give two hoots for what we've got out there right now. But I don't believe it. I don't think Harry Brown can win. I don't think Governor Lamb can win. I don't think the little Texan can win. It may be that Colin Powell could win, but Colin Powell isn't running. As a matter of fact, he's not even really campaigning for Bob Dole. I don't blame him, frankly. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
I got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
I was wondering, you were talking about earlier about the Roswell site and how the guy gave you the directions.
Yes.
Did you ever get a chance to go out there?
No, I've been here every night. Now, how would I go to Roswell?
Well, you said you were going to...
I said that the reason we weren't going to give them publicly was because we wanted to be able to look before...
Right. Have you had a chance?
No, the answer is no. I've been here every night.
Sorry. I just, I was kind of curious and everything, because my uncle used to be a cop for back then and when the Roswell was going on in Washington, D.C.
There will be arrangements made.
All right. I got a what if for you.
Okay.
What if, say, the government or the military knows everything about the UFOs, and they're holding it from Clinton. And
not telling Clinton?
Right. I mean, why would they tell him? That way, if anybody asked him,
Well, if you were the guy in charge of the cover-up of all UFO information,
right,
and you had a choice to either tell Clinton or not, would you?
Well, no.
All right. Why? So then we'll presume he doesn't know.
All right. Presume he doesn't know.
Okay.
If they have technology, they got the technology for things, and they don't know what they can do with it, what's the point of having it then?
Well, they may be using it to their own advantage. Listen, you're talking about the government. You're talking about...
Right.
You're talking about the defense people who would use it, obviously, for defense purposes. Weapons, sir!
There you go, weapons.
So?
Like they don't have enough right now.
Well, they never have enough weapons.
Of course.
When can a government ever have enough weapons?
Especially ours.
There you are, ray guns, something like that. They really go for that. You know they do.
Yeah. I got a comment. I love your webpage. Been on it many times.
Too. I love my webpage.
I know it. And I was wondering if you ever answer your email or you ever get a chance to.
Yes, I do. Now I've got to be selective because I get hundreds of emails, but yes, I do. All right?
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Well, hey, hopefully I can get through again sometime.
All right. Well, keep trying. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
All right. You're on the air, Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell. Hi.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing?
I am fine. Where are you?
I'm calling from Canada.
Where in Canada?
North shore of Lake Erie.
Oh, wow. Really?
So I'm driving home, and I'm listening to you.
Yes.
On a Richmond, Virginia station.
You are?
Yeah, I am.
Well, we're on WJR in Detroit. You're going all the way to Richmond? Wow.
Well, I'll tune it over to WJR.
Well, you don't have to. It's fine. As long as you can hear us, that's good.
That's right. I'm calling in on a toll-free paranoid line.
I see.
If I called direct, then I'd have to use my calling card, and then it could be traced.
Good thought. Only a true paranoid would have considered that prior to calling.
That's right. But I listened the other night about the Mars face, which was fascinating.
Yes, it was.
And then the part about the physicist with the anti-gravity material.
That too was cool.
And I've been fascinated with anti-gravity for the last couple of years. And actually, you know what? I think I got a machine to do it.
You have an anti-grav machine?
It's only on paper. But I'll tell you how it works. And if you ever talk to...
Wait, now. Don't tell us yet.
No,
I've got
okay.
one quick question for you before we're going to break here at the top of the hour.
Yes.
If the face on the moon were sticking its tongue out...
On Mars.
How would you interpret that?
It's sticking my tongue out at me?
Yeah, if the face on... Well, at all of us. If the face on Mars was sticking out its tongue, how would you interpret that? I'll let you think about that, and then you can tell us about anti-gravity after the news. How's that?
All right.
All right. Stay right there while we trace your number.
Okay, thanks.
All right, good.
The trip back in time continues with Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM. More Somewhere in Time coming up. Now, we take you back to the past on Art Bell Somewhere in Time.
It's open line, talk radio all night long. Anything you want to talk about. We do have one special line set aside for paranoid people. It is area code 702-727-1222. And every terrible thing that you can imagine that might happen when you call that line might. So if you can muster up the whatever to call it, we'll be talking to you if you're a paranoid. I don't have to tell you what's going on in telecommunications, do I? It's going nuts. And SMR is right in the middle of the revolution, and you can grab a piece of it. You see, Microtech was smart enough to get the licenses to SMR. 220 megahertz. Actually, I bemoan the fact, if you want to know the truth, that they took it from the hams, but it's a done deal long since. Nothing we can do about that, so it's a good investment opportunity. It's the kind of thing that will, in essence, supplant cellular. Well, augment cellular. It'll be about half the price. So you can imagine the commercial viability. It's already been built in New York, LA, Dallas, and Boston, and they're ready to build more. The investment is $8,700. The possible return, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 or more, plus a yearly income for the rest of your life, and it can be part of your IRA or retirement plan. So, they will ask you a couple of questions to determine you're a qualified investor, then send you a video and a prospectus, and they'll tell you all about it. And you can sit there and decide for yourself in the comfort of your own home. It's a free call. The number is 1-800-444-1049. That's 1-800-444-1049. And now, to the secrets of anti-gravity. Up to Canada. You're back on the air again, sir.
Yes, good morning, Art.
Good morning. Well,
let's take I'm going to take one step back. If we want to do any useful work, what we do is we take nothing, separate it into two parts, and getting it back together is what helps us do things, like taking two chemicals.
Wait a minute. You take nothing.
Take nothing.
How can you separate nothing into two parts?
Well, for example, you take electrons at rest. You use magnets and wires,
that is not nothing.
Well, we start with something that's not happening. And
so then we really do have something.
You're right. Yeah.
That we are separating. All right, fine. All right.
Okay. So So that's the basic idea here. Is you're taking. All right. I'm going to take a step back. If we want to go past the orbit of the Earth, we have to reach a certain velocity, right?
Escape velocity, yes.
Right, but you see, that's not right.
Oh.
Because I could go very slowly as long as I have the correct acceleration.
Well, that would be true. I mean, you could slowly drift up and keep
as long as
you can repel gravity or.
It doesn't matter what speed you're going.
No, that's right. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
This machine here, I just got this on paper here, but I've been doing some work with it. What it is it takes rotational acceleration, because I don't, you know about rotational acceleration?
I do.
And what happens is you do the same thing like you do with a battery. Is you split the two components, right, and then it works for you. In that idea, what you do is you take the rotational acceleration and basically you convert it into a linear direction.
Now you've lost me. It doesn't matter. Why don't you build this thing?
I'm going to. When I've got enough money to do this, I will.
Because I think it would be infinitely cool if you could get in a little craft and just sort of slowly go up.
Well, and that's what I plan to do.
Well, I understand. Are you coming back, or are you going to just keep going? Plus,
well, I'd have to make it. I'm paranoid. I'd want air with me.
Well, I don't consider that paranoia.
Well, okay. All right.
All right, sir. Well, let me know when you've got the machine going.
I'll let you know.
All right. Take care. On my paranoid line, I guess that's what I'm going to call it, my line of paranoia, you're on the air. Hello.
Am I on the paranoid line?
Yes, you are.
I am scared to death, Art.
Well,
ever since that lady called in the other day about the bovine flatulence.
You know what?
Ruining our atmosphere.
You know what? That lady, you may laugh at that lady, but I'll tell you what, that lady is dead right. I have read article after article after article that says that bovine flatulence is the worst problem we've got. It is the biggest contributor to the greenhouse effect, bigger even than all the cars that are driving around out there. Cows passing gas is a very, very, very serious matter. And one can only imagine how much Natron's healthy trinity it would take to straighten it out.
Well, you'll be glad to know that I've come up with a solution.
Okay.
All we have to do is set a trap and catch this guy that's pulling those cows' fingers.
Cows don't have fingers.
What do you, huh? Oh, man, you mean I got to get back under the bed and think this all out again? I was just going to start working on those people in the center of the earth that's been crapping on us through the volcanoes next.
Look, all right, well, volcanoes, they're another problem, but not nearly so serious as bovine flatulence. It is true. I know it sounds laughable, and it sounds fake, but it is not. I've read article after article saying it is the very worst problem we have. Cows letting loose. Cows eating all that grass and hay and whatever all cows eat. And it all, of course, turns into horrendous amounts of flatulence, which fills the atmosphere with greenhouse-type stuff. It's true, it really is. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Good morning, Art.
Yes, good morning to you.
I have a what if.
What if what?
What if I was the person a few months ago that called in and suggested we do what if, and that I have another suggestion on what callers can do when they call you.
I'm listening.
Okay. This is the new and updated kind of what if. Now that you're world broadcasted,
yes,
why don't you have world breath? When callers can call up, instead of, it's very nice talking to you, but because we have a world voice now, why don't we say something to the world? You had said something a couple weeks ago about that.
Why don't you begin it? I mean, what would you want to say? It is true. I mean, we're broadcasting.
Well, like have a line like your paranoid line where it's you want to say something to the world. Like
yes, but you've got to give us the idea here. Start out. Here is your opportunity. You know you're talking to the world, so what do you want to say?
Okay. World, when I hang up after talking to Art Bell, take a deep breath into your nose and just let it out. A good breath. Start it out, a world breath.
So that's the best thing you've got to tell the world? Take a deep breath?
Yeah. Take it easy. Take a good breath.
All right. Thank you very much for the call. And I can tell it's only one step from there to the chairmanship of the UN, General Secretary of the UN, be replacing Boutros. On my paranoid line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art.
Hello.
This is Joe. I'm in Sedona, Arizona.
Oh.
Want to call you about my paranoia about Secret Canyon. I don't know if you've ever been here before.
No, I have always wanted to come to Sedona.
Well, there's a local rumor amongst the ufologists that there is a secret underground government base in Secret Canyon.
Why Sedona? Now, I would like to first understand. By the way, we're glad to be on the air in Sedona. I made a special note when your station came on the air because Sedona is sort of the mystical, New Age capital of the entire universe. And I've always,
they say.
And the question is, why?
Well, if you haven't been here, it's the scenery is unbelievable.
It's nice at the Grand Canyon, too, but it doesn't have that rep. So what is it about Sedona?
Well, when you study history and where the Indian peoples lived, they would not live amongst the Red Rocks, where they say all the mystical things happen. Mm-hmm. They lived on the outskirts, and their ruins are all around Sedona. And it is a mystical place.
Well, what?
But I'm paranoid about the Secret Canyon base, underground base.
I can imagine. Nobody likes to think of nefarious things going on under their feet.
True.
What do you think they're doing down there?
I don't know that I believe it.
Well, that's fine. I mean, but what do you think they're doing? They're not having a little tea and social time. So...
No, they're not. In fact, you had a guest on Dreamland, Norio.
Hayakawa, yes.
Right. And he spoke of the ELF generators, the extremely low-frequency generators that the government may have used in Iran.
Uh-huh.
The rumor here is that don't hike back into Secret Canyon because they have these Elk generators set up.
Do Sidonites occasionally disappear?
People have been known. This is a very transient town. We have lots of transient people come for 2 months.
So it's like you wouldn't even know if somebody disappeared.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. And lots of people living in the woods. Lots of people living in the canyons, places around here.
Well, there's something to think about. These subterranean people, they've got to eat too.
Well, no. The theory is that it's a government base.
Government people, subterranean, have got to eat.
Well, that's true. I don't know how they're getting their food. We've had rumors of...
Well, we just talked about it, sir.
About what?
The disappearing people.
Well, people have been known to come and go. We don't know. I've known several people. I've been here 3 years now.
Well, would you walk into that particular area?
I have walked in there.
At midnight? Without light?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do that?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, well then...
It's very remote wilderness, and I've heard people talk about men showing up in plain black uniforms.
Oh, yes.
No badges of any country, company, you know.
Always black. Have you noticed that? Always black. Why don't they ever wear white just to fool us?
We do have a lot of military helicopters flying here, and the rationale is that the Sedona Airport is a military refueling base.
Sure it is.
So who knows?
Yeah, that's right. And where are the big tanks? Underground, right?
All right. Well,
all right.
Listen, it's great talking to you.
And to you as well, sir. Take care.
Bye-bye.
And stay on alert there. We'll be right back.
Coast to Coast AM sure sounds great in the middle of the night. But you know, you don't have to be nocturnal to enjoy this amazing show. The Coast Insider is your key to a normal life. For 15 cents a day, you can wake up refreshed knowing that last night's show is waiting for you with podcasting. Listen on your way to work and again on the way home. Or listen to one of over 1,000 archived shows from the past 3 years. As a member, you'll have access to our monthly live chat sessions with George Noory and special guests. The Coast Insiders Club is a must-have feature for all Coast to Coast AM listeners. Visit coasttocoastam.com to sign up today. You'll sleep like a baby, knowing you'll never miss your favorite guests and topics ever again. Remember, a 1-year subscription comes out to only 15 cents a day. Sign up today at coasttocoastam.com. You're listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time, tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from July 9th, 1996.
All right, now here's an interesting fact. Art, I chose to fax rather than call because I know your phone is tapped as well as my own. Please try to decode this cry for help. The mouse is in the trap, the spider in the web. That's all I can say for now. I know you will try to help me in turn helping yourself. Please notify the proper authorities and be extremely cautious of imposters. Don't try to contact me. I will contact you. Then we've got this. Art, just because someone is paranoid does not necessarily mean that they are not out to get them. Frank in Marysville. And this, Art, talk about paranoid. I met a friend in line at the grocery store. He had just seen Independence Day. He was sure that an elite inside government was selling the rest of us out to the aliens for technology and their own independence. He thinks HARP is going to be used to put us all asleep and load us on UFOs. He wanted to know how to fight back. I pointed out that it would be like Germany at the end of World War II. Do I want to surrender to the Greys or the Blues? He got upset and insisted there must be a way to know who was who. I know he is a fan of yours, so I said just wait for marching orders from Art Bell. Think about it. Art's underground army of the right acting under the cloak of darkness with trained chupacabras. Wait for my signal. Don't do anything until you get my signal, sir. First-time caller line, you're on the air. That's my paranoid line, actually.
Yeah. You know who I'm paranoid about, Art?
Who?
The police.
Well, Do you think they're after you?
It's not just me. I think they're after...
Everybody?
Everybody.
People doing things like making right-hand turns when they shouldn't, going through red lights.
Let me put it this way.
They are. They're after every last one of them.
Indeed. I mean, trying to collect the driving taxes. I don't really call them moving violations. They're more like driving taxes. I put it more like this, though. Here's a group of men and women who I've uniformed, who I believe I'm forced to tacitly endow with this power, this ability to control me.
You absolutely are. Or they will restrain you, handcuff you, and put you behind bars.
Yet, I pay for their existence out of every paycheck.
You do. And you see, I have a different view of it, though. My view is that we pay good tax money to people like that to protect us against people like you.
You see, there's a thing. I pay, yet I don't have the ability to hire, fire, or evaluate performance. I have to sit there and watch. For instance...
And be a victim.
Indeed. I had a friend
yes.
who had only had one moving violation.
One moving violation.
But wrote a letter to the editor to our local paper. Our local paper requires that you put the first and last name or else they won't print it.
Sure.
Unfortunately, he
put his name on there, and then the police came and killed him.
The boy let fly, Art. I mean, he wasn't saying, let's have iron.
Fine, okay, so what did they do to him for this?
Within 2 weeks, he had 4 moving violations.
4 moving violations?
Within 2 weeks.
Were these not proper violations? I mean, had he done nothing?
Oh, he was just going about his way. Like I said, he only had 1 moving violation.
But after he wrote the letter to the editor, he had 4.
Oh, he said they were, he was absolutely positive.
Well, would you write a letter to the editor and sign your real name to the bottom? Complaining about the police?
Well, of course not.
Yeah, all right. Well, then you belong on this line properly. I understand. Thank you very much for the call. The police. It is true we pay them. But if you're not doing anything, of course you wouldn't understand that because you're paranoid. But generally, if you're not doing anything wrong, then they are there to protect you, and that would be the proper way to think about it. Not that they are there to get you. But on the other hand, if you write, well, there are certain things you can do in life that you can expect to bring certain consequences. Like if you have a bumper sticker that says, cops suck, the likelihood or percentage of likelihood that you're going to get pulled over is going to be significantly higher than the guy who doesn't have that kind of bumper sticker. As one says, we support police or something like that. I don't know if that makes you less likely. It'd be interesting. It'd make an interesting study, wouldn't it? A pro and anti-police bumper sticker card driven around for a year. How many moving violations each vehicle got? Identical vehicles, nearly identical drivers, simply different bumper stickers. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art. Steve from South Dakota.
Yes, sir.
Well, I've been trying to get into you since the middle of the show last night with Stan McDaniel.
My goodness.
What a wonderful show.
Glad you enjoyed it.
I have a copy of the McDaniel report.
Yes.
And it's 173 pages where science really does test the hypothesis.
Right.
I was interested to read about the report about the absence of, SETI's role in the whole investigation.
Yes.
And in it says that, SETI is more or less putting a strain on the validity of these landforms in, 3 ways. Number one, the Mars messages aren't radio signals, which, SETI usually uses for, verification.
Well, that's the only thing SETI's doing, sir. They're looking with radio telescopes.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And number two, they're not from deep space, which they usually look. They always look into deep space.
You know what? September 1st, I'm going to have Dr. Stephen Greer, founder and director of the Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, see SETI.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow, that'd be great. And third, in the report, it says they're not in the form. Mars landforms aren't in the form of structures that embody architectural and symbolic values, not ordinarily in the purview of physics and mainly in astronomy, and it sort of baffles me because both SETI and the Mars mission are sort of studying different areas of the same subject.
Well, they are. It's true, and one of these days I think we will get a signal. I wonder what would happen if the SETI people got a signal that basically said, nice talking to you. Call us back when you grow up. The Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Morning, Art.
Good morning.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I got a Yacht Boy 205 Grundig stuck in my pocket, and I can't get it out.
Really? Well, it will slowly begin to irradiate your leg until it falls off.
Very well.
All right? In the meantime, enjoy whatever you've got it set on.
You, man.
All right. See you later. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Yes, Art.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I have a couple things to say to you about a comment you made. Yes. This is Chris in Laramie, Wyoming.
All right. Laramie.
Yes, just barely east of the Rockies.
Oh, well.
Yeah. A couple things I had to say was you made a comment last hour about third parties, Libertarian Party specifically.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Well, I am a member of the LP, have been for about 2 years now.
Okay.
And my point was you said that you don't think third parties can win,
no,
et cetera, yada, and so on.
Yes, et cetera, yada, and so on.
Exactly. My point was there's a lot of people out there with that attitude that think that since third parties can't win, they won't vote for them. So third parties don't win.
That is the truth.
So people won't vote for them.
That is the reality of
It's a vicious circle, and it just keeps going and going.
It is, and it will continue, and saying it isn't going to change.
That's true. The second thing I wanted to say real quick is I have the LP presidential debates on tape, and if you would like to see them, I can send them off to whatever address you have.
Well, I have an address.
You do?
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Do you want it?
Certainly.
Post Office Box 4755.
4755.
Pahrump, P-A-H-R-U-M-P.
R-U-M-P, okay.
Didn't laugh, that's a good sign. Nevada, zip code 89041-4755. Now, as I say, I watched for a long time, but it was all bureaucratic. And then I finally got tired. I sleep during the day. I do that. So
right.
Do the show. And I finally fell asleep and missed the good part.
Mm-hmm. Well, the presidential debates were very entertaining, and I think Rick Tompkins probably saved the party from another fairly embarrassing split. So.
Well, I would love to see it. So, really, if you do have a copy, I'd be thankful.
What was the post office box again? I'm sorry, I missed it the first time.
Oh, boy. 4755.
4755. Gotcha.
All right.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, and I'll look forward to that. Yes, I wanted to see that, and I sat there, and it was sort of a little interesting, but, it was kind of, would the people in the front all move toward the back, please? And, that kind of thing, and fill out forms, and we're handing out these forms, and you can only watch that so long. So I missed the good part. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hi.
It's Charlie, liberal in California. Let me tell you something. A, I don't think you're the Antichrist. I want you to know that right off the bat. And B, let me tell all these alien nuts out there. Let me just tell you something. If I were an alien, in all seriousness, if I were an alien, the Earth is the last place I'd want to settle. It's you've got some semi-highly developed primate dominating a middle-aged star that lacks a lot of the natural minerals that it had just a few million years ago. It's not a good planet.
It may be that compared to other planets, we are still mineral-rich, particularly deep down.
We're mineral rich, but why would you want to deal with a planet that has a somewhat advanced technology and nuclear weapons? Even though they could probably easily defeat us, we could ruin the planet.
Charlie.
Why would you want to deal with that when you could deal with a relatively new star?
Charlie, we eat cows, right?
That's true.
So why do you think that an alien would not necessarily think of us as a cow?
Actually, you have a reasonable point there. I know a lot of the religious people might not like that, but what you're saying in that sense is true, and that humans may not, even though we are the highest life form on the planet right now, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're a very high life form.
To a fully evolved life form, we might be as the ants are to us.
That's true. That's true. I wouldn't argue that point. Let me say, as far as poor Bob Dole is concerned, isn't it just too bad that Colin Powell has seen the light, that Colin Powell realizes that the only place for him to go is the Democratic Party. That they're
that's
interested
hogwash.
in.
He already said he'd vote for Bob Dole. Where are you coming from?
No, all I'm saying is that, well, he has to vote for Bob Dole. I mean, he's already said that he's not going to campaign with this guy, and he's not going to have any big speech at the Republican National Convention. Let's face it here. He supports affirmative action, and he supports abortion rights. And if he comes to the Democratic Party, we will welcome him and all Republicans who support those things with open arms.
Look,
Why?
whatever Colin Powell is, he's smart enough not to go to your party.
Well, I think Colin Powell will wake up and see the light, as many moderates and Republicans have. Because
the hell are you talking about? It has been conversion after conversion after conversion. It's been from the Democrats to the Republicans. Where have you been?
Well, first of all, you're talking about politicians. I'm not talking about politics, because politicians are always rolling around in the mud trying to see it.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You're talking about Clinton. You're talking about Dole. You're talking about Powell, and you say you're not talking about politicians.
I'm talking
Have you
about
truly lost what little mind you have?
Powell, fortunately, is not a quote-unquote politician. I think that's what makes him popular. But I'm talking about people like Powell who have changed, who have taken a look at this Republican Party led by Newt Gingrich and said, you know what, we are going to switch to the Democrats and move to the left, because we realize that they support the working class Americans, that they support this, basically support the government and the country, and that the Republicans basically don't, that they're a bunch
Charlie,
of
there's been so damn much attrition with the Democrats lately. You're lucky you've got even a minimal vote you can muster in the House anymore.
Well, there's the Republicans right now are no longer concerned about whether they're going to win the presidency or not. They're worried about whether they're going to keep control of Congress.
Well,
That's the bottom line.
You are right about that. Thanks, Charles. He's right about that. The campaign right now is going so poorly. I mean, I couldn't script it to go any more poorly for Bob Dole. The latest today is that Bob Dole will now no longer seek to reverse the assault weapons ban. He's given up on that one. So there you are. And he weakly says, well, a bunch of those guns are now available anyway. So he will not attempt to reverse that ban. You know, by the time they're done, that is, Bill Clinton stealing what few ideas Bob Dole has had, and Bob Dole compromising toward the left. There's going to be absolutely no difference whatsoever between those two guys except their age. That's going to be all that's left.
The new version of the Coast to Coast AM app is here, now available for Android as well as iPhone. For Coast Insiders, it offers the ability to download the most recent shows so you can listen to them at your leisure. The new app also has listen live and streaming features, plus recaps, contacts, and upcoming show info. Coast Insiders with Android System 4.0 and above, or iPhone. Check out our new app at the Google Play or iTunes stores, or link from the Coast website. Get a new view of the world with Coast to Coast AM.
First of all, I want to just thank you for bringing everyone out here the cornucopia of just phenomenal knowledge. I don't know of anyone else that I've ever listened to in radio that just fills my brain and stimulates me. But, you know, I was listening to the show, and I thought to myself, do you think, George, the common citizen such as you or I really has any hope towards the future of any privacy or anything else?
I think we do. I think eventually so many people will see the light, see what you see what I see, that eventually they're going to say enough is enough. And I think that we do have a future, and we're going to win in the long run. It's going to be bumpy along the way. It's not going to be easy, but we will get there. That's my take, and you know what? As long as I can continue on the airwaves and tell people this, I shall.
You're listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time, tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from July 9th, 1996.
West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi. I'm on the air?
Well, Possibly. What do you want to say?
I would like to ask you a question. Good morning, and to begin with, I'm surprised. My name is Lydia, and I would like to ask you a question since this is an open forum tonight.
Yes, it is, Lydia.
Thank you. If there is anybody of your listeners, or maybe you know somebody that deals in degeneration of the retina.
In what?
Degeneration of the retina or macula. It's an eye problem.
An eye problem.
Right.
Oh, retina. Is that what you said, retina?
Retina, right.
Retina.
I'm sorry, I probably don't pronounce it right.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ukraine.
Ukraine?
Yes. But I've been in the United States for the last 37 years. I'm American citizen, and I lived in South America also for about 10 years.
No, I'm going to visit Russia next month.
I heard you on the radio, right?
Yes.
Right. My son was there in Ukraine, in Kiev. He was for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Since 1990.
So you wanted to ask about a retina problem?
Right. I have lost my sense of vision. I am legally blind now.
I understand.
I lost my sense of vision, and I really haven't seen a doctor in the last probably 4 years.
Oh, my.
But I can't because I belong to an HMO, and they put me on disability, and I'm on Medicare.
Yes.
Because there is no other way to do it.
Well, I'm not a doctor, so
I know, but I'm sort of, through you, I'm trying to go to maybe somebody of your listeners, an ophthalmologist or anybody that has that problem. I know there are a lot of people that have that problem.
Well, maybe somebody will have something to say, Lydia. We'll see.
Okay, and now if you want to talk about Russia, why don't you put me on the other line or whatever line you have? I'm sure you have a lot of people that want to give you advice.
About Russia?
Right.
Most people are telling me don't go. They think the American CIA is going to have the KGB kill me in the Moscow streets.
Oh, no.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Please do go and look for yourself.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yes, and I certainly hope you have a good time, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. And your wife, Ramona, also.
She will. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care. Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy it, too. You betcha. No guarantees in life, right? Ever. So you just go ahead and you continue with life. Either that or you huddle down in a little bunker somewhere and you worry about everything. Like the people on my paranoid line. Here. See, watch. Paranoid line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Art?
Okay. Are you paranoid?
Well, yeah, I am.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm calling from New Orleans.
Well, you've got good reason to be then.
Yeah, there's a lot of spirits in this town.
Do you know that New Orleans may be one of the most dangerous cities, but Nevada, where I am now, is the most dangerous state in the whole Union. That's right.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yes.
It seems like there's all kinds of space in Nevada, But anyway, what I wanted to call you about was in the beginning of June, I called you about I saw an explosion in the sky.
I have a point of order here.
A jet airplane.
Well, this is
the point of order I'm talking about is what happened in the Pensacola incident, right? Where those two people.
You mean when Pensacola was destroyed?
No. Come on. This is not a joke.
What are you talking about then?
I'm talking about what happened over the weekend.
What happened? Tell me.
There was a jet engine exploded, and two people were killed.
Oh, yes, I know all about that. Yes,
right.
A Delta Airlines aircraft.
Well,
yes.
I had called you previously in the beginning of June, and I had told you that I saw an explosion over the skies of New Orleans, and but the plane didn't explode. Just the right jet engine exploded in the rear section. It was a Pratt and Whitney.
Was it over New Orleans?
Right. It was over. The plane was taking off going.
You know what? I remember that call. I remember your call.
Right, and you had said gestured. Just think about the people in the tail section. They must have been scared to death.
Yep.
And this happened Memorial weekend, right? And now two people have died from something. The plane that took off was either a Delta plane or
it was Delta
or an American plane because they have the same colors. And
well, there was a TWA aircraft with a lesser problem, but Delta is the one that.
No, I'm talking about the colors on the side of the plane, though. Delta and American have similar colors.
Yeah, but forget the colors. It said Delta, D-E-L-T-A, Delta. It said Delta right there. So.
But the thing that I saw, the engine that I saw was a Pratt and Whitney engine that blew up. But it didn't. You see, it shot this streak. It didn't go towards the cab section. It shot out over a residential area.
All right, we're giving you an A+ then on your prediction. So the next time you have one, you need to call us immediately.
Well, Art, you have a great show, and I love every minute of it.
All right.
But I never get in that much, so.
Well, you're in now.
It's very hard.
Took advantage of the paranoid line.
Bye.
All right, goodbye. We're restricting that line just to paranoids. All card line, you're on the air. Hello.
Art?
Yes.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Mike in Milwaukee, listening to you on WTMJ.
Yes, Mike, you're going to have to speak up good and loud.
Good and loud, okay. I wanted to thank you, first of all, for replaying the Dan and Linda Howe.
Yes.
It was quite frightening.
Well, it is interesting. Linda and I had a very long conversation today about it all.
Yeah, none of your listeners are talking about what Tom Brokaw was talking about last night on the NBC Nightly News.
And that was?
Area 51.
And what did he say about Area 51?
Well, he talked about, of course, the lights in the sky, but even more so than that, they were talking about chemicals or some steam being released.
Yep. There's a big lawsuit about that. I know all about that.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Another thing, it was also mentioned in Independence Day 4, probably the best part of the movie.
Referred to Area 51 and Roswell as well.
Right, right. But as far as, what is Vegas, about as close as you can get to a theater?
For the moment, yes, that is true. And that's, it's about a 120-mile round trip, so.
Well, I wouldn't make the trip.
Oh, now, is that a movie review?
It was okay. It was an okay movie, but I don't know. I wouldn't drive 120 miles Art to see it.
Well, I might not either. Plus, I know the lines are very long. The weather is hot. My temper is short. And so I haven't made the trip yet. But the time will come. I'll be in town for some reason or another, and I'll go see it. Yeah. Or next month, when I go to Europe, they will show it in the aircraft.
There you go.
Now, would that be a cool place to watch ID4 at about 50,000 feet? Thank you very much for the call, sir.
Okay, Art.
West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Well, this is west of the Rockies.
Yes, it is.
Okay. This is Ed in Finland, California.
Finland, California. Where is that?
That's sort of between Glendale and the San Fernando Valley.
Probably listening to KABC.
That's right.
All right.
A couple of things. First, you once mentioned that you got Ray Bream, radio talk host, back on the air talking on the radio again.
I did. Shortly after I came on KABC, which has now been quite a while, I said on the air I wanted to talk to Ray. I'd love to talk to him, interview him. And by gosh, we did it. He came on, and we did a couple hours, I think.
Yeah. Well, if I could recommend a guest, if you could get him, there was a gentleman a few years ago also on KABC, Bill Jenkins. Have you ever heard of him?
Yes, I've heard the name.
Yeah, he had a show called Open Mind. It was sort of like a mini version of Dreamland.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and he talked about various things, the UFOs and so forth, and he knows quite a bit, so I don't know what's happened to him in the years, but he retired from KABC and so on. But I got to ask you about the chupacabras.
Chupacabra, very good.
Chupacabra, I finally got it.
Yes.
Are there lady chupacabras?
Well, yes, of course there are. How could there not be?
Well, who knows? Maybe the chupacabras grow from demon seeds or something.
A demon seed. Maybe I should have you on as a guest. All right, listen, go away. I've got news.
Okay.
See you later. You're listening to the CBC Radio Network, and east of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yeah, this is Chris from Peoria.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, I was wondering regarding two questions for you.
Okay. about it, yes. The project to develop the atomic bomb, yes.
Well, no, I was referring to the one, the cloaking device.
Cloaking device?
Yeah, my friend is into this. I don't know if you're on any web pages. What is the cloaking device? Is that something he made up, or is that just like an exaggeration of what the government's trying to consider?
Well, a cloaking device is very simply a device used when you wish to make your ship invisible.
I heard over in Atlantic it disappeared for 2 seconds and reappeared. So,
well, it's Klingon technology.
Like something from Star Trek.
Well, it is.
Oh, there you go.
Cloaking device, Klingons. Don't you remember? Didn't you watch Star Trek?
I'm not a Trekkie. I don't like that.
All right. Well, that's a cloaking device.
Oh, I got another question for you.
Sure.
Do you know anything regarding Loch Ness Monster? I've been studying since I'm 18 now. I've been studying since I was 6 years old.
It's funny you should mention that. I had a guest on Dreamland Sunday that talked about Nessie, and there have been a number of projects looking for Nessie, and they have all that's right, and they have all found something gigantic down there, chasing fish at a very deep level.
Did they realize what it was? Mammal, but I don't think it'd be mammal.
Nessie.
Because, well, I know, but what do you think it is? For your important facts, some people think it's the telemonstrum. Some people think it's a gigantic seal.
I think very probably it's something prehistoric.
Yeah, plesiosaurus.
Sure.
You know any websites regarding Loch Ness?
No, but I bet if you go up there and do a search with a browser, you'll find some.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. And if there's any, and if there's any photographs up there, pass them along. I would even like to see some of what they found. That'd be very interesting. It's entirely possible that there are prehistoric creatures that are left, that have survived, that have somehow, at deep water levels, managed to avoid whatever Holocaust killed them all. And there are remnants of them still here on Earth. Sure, it could be. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yes, this is Kevin from Pulaski, Tennessee.
Pulaski, Tennessee.
Pulaski, Tennessee.
Where is that?
It's south of Nashville, 70 miles south of Nashville.
Okay.
I got a little cat story to tell you here. It's not really a story, but at my house I've got 39 cats.
You have 39 cats?
39 cats.
You belong on my... You should be on my paranoid line, not here. You have 39 cats and 7 dogs. That's impossible.
Well, that's how many I have, and it takes probably about $40 worth of food a week to feed them.
How did you end up with that many cats?
Having babies and babies and babies.
Well, that's your own fault.
I reckon it is, but they're wild and you can't catch them. So they just keep on having babies, I guess.
Multiplying, yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, I know. These wild cats, they're amazing.
It's hard to catch them. We've tried to catch them. Me and my dad have.
It's not good. They bite you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I wanted to say. And you have a great night.
All right, thank you. I still have the scars here. They're starting to fade now. But I still have the scars. Oh, I went out there a little while ago during the break, and I was petting my cat, and he hissed at me once, and then I put my hand right up there by his mouth, and he bit me. Not hard. You know, this time it was just sort of a, I'm testing human skin type bite. Like that, you know. Testing consistency. Determining tensile strength. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Art. How you doing?
Okay.
You know, if SETI is ever successful, you know what the message we're going to hear is going to be?
What?
Turn off your radio.
Turn off your radio, yeah.
Where's your sense of humor?
Well, on that subject, I don't have one.
Okay, why we cannot give the last names?
Why don't we give them?
Mm-hmm.
Because if something was said that would lead to litigation, you know, court problems, it would not be so serious if there had not been a last name. I mean, there's a lot of Johns out there, a lot of Toms out there. You understand?
I understand now, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Art.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Greg in Dallas.
Hi, Greg.
Just wanted to say, love the show. I happen to be here with a couple other guys here at AudioNet.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, we're calling from the office here.
You're actually at AudioNet. Tell everybody, look, not everybody understands what AudioNet is. Tell them what it is.
Okay, what AudioNet is, we're basically a broadcast network that broadcasts radio stations, sporting events, like we did the All-Star game last night.
Right.
Over the World Wide Web.
That's right. And people can go get the little program and go up on the Internet and listen to this program, either live or archived, or, as a matter of fact, you can go back and listen to 2 weeks of programs.
Right, right.
It's amazing.
And, just the reason we were calling is we wanted to let you know that you are the man on AudioNet. You get, seriously, in a week's time, you get more hits than anything or anyone else on AudioNet.
Is that so?
Absolutely.
How many do we get? Do you know?
You, just off the top of my, I'm the statistician here.
Uh-huh.
And you get roughly about 10,000 listeners a week.
Holy mackerel.
And that's pretty good for a brand new medium, I think.
It is. It's young and growing. As a matter of fact, I had a fellow call from in Germany near Austria listening a little while ago.
Yeah, we heard him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we listen to you every night.
It is very cool. As a matter of fact, you know what I ought to do? I should open a line one night for people listening to AudioNet.
Hey, that'd be great.
Would you like that?
Yeah, we'd love that.
Okay.
That'd it'd help us all out, you know, to help you out, see where people on the Internet are at, and help us out with seeing where people are listening to us from as well.
I tell you what, I'll do it tomorrow night.
Hey, great.
How's that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Assuming the world does not explode.
Well, yeah, hopefully it won't.
I kind of like talk radio when it just drifts, when there's no really heavy news that we have to talk about, when we can just have fun.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Well, the world's a lot better when there's not all the heavy stuff.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, just wanted to call and say hi and say keep up the great work.
Well, please say hi to everybody at AudioNet for me and thank them.
Will do, Art.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Yeah, we take a lot of hits on the webpage. Matter of fact, I was talking to Keith earlier, and this will amaze you. My website, www.artbell.com, takes, I think it was in May, it took 1.8 million hits. 1.8 million hits. Can you imagine that? And it varies around 1.4, 1.5, 1.7, 1.8, somewhere in there. Million hits a month. That's a lot of people. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art Bell.
Yes.
This is Doc out in San Diego.
Sounds like you're in a truck.
Yes, I am. I'm driving for the Los Angeles Times. I'm delivering papers to San Diego tonight.
All right.
I'm on my way back and listening to you.
Yes,
I
sir.
just wanted to say I saw ID4 today, and that was a fabulous movie. It was just so cool. You talk about the quickening, that was it. But, you know, I think the only safe place to be would be underground if something like that happened. But I really enjoy your show, and just wanted to say hello to all the other fellow truckers out there, and keep up the good work.
Wait a minute. What's the headline in the LA Times this morning?
What's the headline?
Yeah.
Headline tonight, gosh, I don't even know. I just delivered 8,000 of them. That's pretty sad, isn't it?
Yeah, and you didn't look at the headline.
I didn't even look at the headline.
All right, well, thanks for the call.
Okay, take care.
Yeah, see you later. Delivered 8,000 of them and doesn't know what the headline is. Oh, well, first-time caller line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art. Enjoy your program.
Thank you.
Talked to you many years ago when you were on the other station out of Fresno, 1986. Anyway, this format, first-time caller. Paranoid in the sense that a very good friend of mine who is a stable, down-to-earth former pilot confided something to me not long ago, which really got my attention.
Yes.
And in fact, he lives not too far from where you are. And that was many years ago in Independence, Missouri, where Harry Truman's hometown.
Right.
He was in a parking lot getting out of a low-slung car of some kind, and he as he grabbed the roof of the car, stood up and looked up. There was this craft above the parking lot. A huge thing. And what was significant about it, as he told the story, was time seemed to be suspended in some way. And it was not just the fact that it was very clear in his memory. The craft was like many of the crafts that have been described in your program before. And there was a figure that he was able to remember sort of looking at him. But as the craft went away silently, it was the same phenomenon, that time was suspended in some way. It wasn't just the fact that it was silent and moved away quickly. That time itself was, the dimension of time somehow was altered. And the other unusual thing was, this happened in the space of, he estimates, 15, 20 seconds. There was another individual about 30 feet away.
Excuse me. How could he know that if time was distorted?
Well, he was saying that what seemed to be 15 or 20 seconds.
Oh, I see.
Only see.
Right.
But the movement of the craft was very unusual because it was there, then it seemed to be half a mile away, he wasn't blinking his eyes. And he's used to, obviously, being a pilot, he was used to movements of craft. It wasn't like it went from point A to point B. It was at point A and suddenly it was at point B. And the other thing that was unusual about the story, at the end of all this, there was another gentleman about 30, 40 feet away standing by another car. And he kind of chiefly said, "Did you see that?" And the person sincerely did not see it.
Probably said something like, "No, and you didn't see it either."
No, it was basically just the guy seemed like he didn't see it. Well, anyway, this is I guess the second person that he's told the story to, and I've known the fellow many years, and he tells the story now, and quite sincerely, and still doesn't know what to make of it. So,
I saw something too, and to this day, sir, I don't know what to make of it. I just know what I saw. Wasn't far away, was not a distant light, was close up, real close, very real, and I don't know what to make of it to this day. And I suspect I never will.
Somewhere in Time with Art Bell continues, courtesy of Premier Networks.
West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Bell.
Hello.
This is Dick calling from Kogo Country.
Yes, Dick.
Listen, I want to commend you for having that guest on there, Mr. Collier.
That's who it was, of course.
The vote scam.
Vote fraud, yes, vote scam.
I went and called Chancellor Broadcast and ordered those 3 tapes. It's 3 tapes, they say.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Bell, what I'd like to ask you, did you ever consider having Jean Duffy on, the lady that directed that video film, Obstruction of Justice, the MENA Connection?
Oh, I suppose I could, but it's kind of more of the same, isn't it?
No, it isn't. No, absolutely not. This is Mr. Putnam out here in California had that lady on.
George, yes.
Oh my God! I mean, the stuff that she reveals on that, on the video. I got the video film also.
Does she say Clinton's a killer?
No, she didn't say that Clinton's a killer, but a lot of
these... Does she say Clinton's a drug dealer?
No, she says a lot of these people that were hooked up with him there in Arkansas, one of the chief prosecutors was involved in the murder of the 2 boys on the railroad tracks. They've got proof of that.
Can she tie it to Clinton?
No, not to Clinton, but to these people in his cabinet that were in his cabinet, all his cronies back there.
Yeah, well...
But I think that the people would enjoy listening to Linda, her name is Linda, no, not Linda, Jean Duffy, I'm sorry.
Jean Duffy, huh?
I think that your listeners would really respond to that, Art.
Why? To me, these things have got to either be connected to Clinton or they just don't have the meaning that you think they have or that people think they have. Now,
well, she was a prosecutor back there in Arkansas, see?
Yeah.
And she actually got driven, her and her husband and children got driven out of there. They put a price on her head. They were going to kill her. And she hid out in Texas because he was in the Army in Texas.
This must have been a private price on her head. I mean, you couldn't do that publicly.
Well,
right?
This is what the...
I mean, they didn't post it in the post office or anything, right?
I beg your pardon?
They didn't put it in the post office, price on her head or anything.
No, but she was told by some police officials that she'd best get out of Arkansas.
Well, they're telling me I'd better get out of Pahrump, you know.
Who?
Well, them. The people on my paranoid line. People who fax me. All right, thank you very much for the call. As a matter of fact, here's another one. Art, I know that you are out to get me. Leave me alone. Signed, Shane. Okay, no sweat, Shane. Dear Art, I've got a friend who's trying to get the gas station to take out the microphone from his car radiator and the TV repair shop to remove the government camera from his TV. I believe him when he says he is not paranoid. After all, it was his radio that told him about the problem that he is having. Signed, Desert Dan. Well, let's go back to the paranoid line. You're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art.
Hi.
How you doing today?
I'm fine.
Art, I'm paranoid.
Why?
I read in the paper today
Yes.
that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is compiling a government database on the ownership of firearms in the United States.
Well, they've been doing that for a long time. Now, they've had records from people who have a license to sell firearms, and they've always held those records in ever-growing boxes, and now they're simply going to put those on computers, so they have reference to it.
Well, I've got to tell you I'm paranoid because in every case in history, registration was followed with confiscation.
Well, I don't think they're going to confiscate guns. Myself.
Well,
but you do, but that's because you're paranoid. I mean, what would you do if they knocked on your door, wanted your guns? Going to have to give us your guns.
I don't know. They might find a bullet between the eyes.
You'd shoot at them?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's my constitutional right to own them.
I mean, guys with jackets that say FBI and ATF on it, and you'd shoot at them.
Well, you know, it's a constitutional right of mine, and it's underprotected, I think.
So you would shoot instead of give up and give the guns?
Probably.
What do you think would happen?
I'd probably go to federal prison if caught.
More likely you'd be dead. I mean, they would shoot back, wouldn't they?
Well, maybe.
Maybe?
Well, it depends. I mean,
usually when you shoot
it's a matter of surprise.
When you shoot at the feds, a lot of times they shoot back.
This is true.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. It was proper that you are on that line. A lot of people think their guns are going to be confiscated. I am not one of those people. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning.
From Grand Junction, Colorado.
Yes, sir.
I was listening to you on KNZZ, but they blew a tube or something, so I had to switch to KOB in Albuquerque.
They blew a tube?
Well, it sounds like it. It sounds like they've been having troubles with their stuff for a couple days now. But
it's what I've been trying to tell people. You know, there's a long chain of electronics that has to work perfectly for you to receive the signal.
Exactly.
And somehow everybody assumes that when something goes wrong, it's always a trilateral commission.
I hardly think so. I was in radio for a number of years, just like yourself there, Art. And I understand all these things, too. But what's it like to talk to millions of people every night? What are you on, 277 stations now?
Yeah. It's better not to think about. It's neat, it's fun, but it's better not to think about, because if you think about it, then you begin to get very nervous.
And paranoid.
And paranoid, that's right.
And you start setting up paranoid phone lines, and the people start calling in and thinking that they're just as scared as you are to be talking to 12 million people. How many people are listening right now, Art?
Well, at any given moment, probably 8 to 10 to 12 million, somewhere in there.
Well,
I really wish you wouldn't lead me through this. You're going to get me nervous, is what you're going to do.
I'm scared to death, Art. I got to go. Bye.
Okay, goodbye. I mean, really, it is much better not to think about. I even have trouble. I can't tell you even what city, but there's a gigantic eastern city that's going to be coming on at the end of the month. See, that's as much as I can say. Nobody could pin it down, right? A gigantic eastern city has signed a contract, and They're coming on the network beginning next month. Now, if I think about it, I will get nervous, and it will be very hard for me to do my program as normal for at least one day. And then I forget it, and everything's okay again. The minute somebody else calls like that and starts telling me about all of the stations and people, God, it makes me nervous. We'll be right back.
Somewhere in Time.
Oh, you're going to love this one. Oh, Art, talk about paranoid. First of all, I know you won't read my facts. I'm doomed. Now, this guy is serious. I'm doomed. Fated to be alone in my circumstances, one of a kind, completely misunderstood, yet miserably wise. You see, I'm immortal. I stopped aging when I was 16. I'm now 26. I've had the knowledge of an elder since I was a babe, but nobody will listen to me because of this immortality problem. I couldn't wrinkle if I tried. I couldn't get hit by a bus if I tried. Well, I had a bus driver here a little while ago to probably dispute that. But worst of all, I'm unable to convey all that I know because everyone looks at me as a despicable teenager. Well, you probably are. Somebody has put me here, so unique but so powerless. This somebody even sent me an anonymous report in the mail about my plight. The report listed my personality characteristics, others' opinions about me. They even said they'd be contacting me at some future time. So strange, don't you think? And to make my situation worse yet again, I don't sleep. Can you imagine the long, long life of an immortal who can't sleep? They planned this too, I'm sure. Sometimes I even hear the devil's voice talking to me during your program. Your voice becomes deep and monstrous. That's when I know he's here. Oh, poor Art, we're both pawns in some sick scheme. I have no advice for you. But do you think any of your immortal listeners have any advice for me, especially about the wrinkling and the sleeping problems? I'm sure the answer is no, knowing my luck. Well, I'm sure you're right, sir. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hey, Italian Stallion, Portland, Oregon.
If you say so.
Hey, I got a correction. That wasn't the Klingons with the... I'm sure you got facts, but it's the Romulans.
Oh, it was the Romulans. You're right.
Yeah, anyway,
I think it was the Romulans.
Yeah, it was the Romulans originally that came out, and then the Klingons
Was it the Romulan Empire or the...
Yeah, the Romulan Empire that did have the cloak, and then the Federation stole it. Then the Klingons got a hold of it. I think
that's right.
Then they made it better where you could, where you didn't have to have your shields down.
Yeah.
And they made it even better, I guess. The Klingons came out with the even more better.
Well, more better. I knew they had it. Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to mention Saddam Hussein. What happened to him? He's kind of faded out of the news and everything. He's getting real powerful again.
Yep, he's building his army back again.
Yeah, and I just think that it's going to be a mess over there in the Middle East.
You know what we really need? We need a good war between Iran and Iraq is what we really need.
Yeah, and I really believe the war is going to be all over oil because we still haven't resorted to electric cars. And, I mean, we do have them, but I think our technology needs to zoom in on it because oil's not going to be here in the next 10. You look at the gas prices and the gas pumps.
I'm telling you right now, if I were in charge of the CIA, I would have them working on getting Iran and Iraq into another war.
Yeah, well, you can be thankful that we drive our 4 cylinders and get good gas mileage, so.
I've only got 3 cylinders.
Oh, you do? And that Geo, that's right. They get about 50 miles to the gallon?
At least.
Wow, that's great. Well, I'd keep that car then and not get a Cadillac or anything, so.
Oh, that's my plan.
Okay, Art, take care. Have a good one.
See you later. I think that would be the ideal solution. I think they thought that at one time, too. We are inevitably going to get into a conflict with Iran. The possibility that the terrorist bombing in Saudi Arabia, if it was foreign sponsored, was probably sponsored by Iran. Maybe Syria. Now, if we could get Syria, Iran, and Iraq into a war, then you'd really have something going. And they would all deplete each other's resources to the point where none of them would be a threat any longer, or one would conquer the other two, and then we'd really have a problem. First-time caller line, / paranoid line. You're on the air.
Thank you. I am very, very worried. I have information pertaining to...
Turn your radio down now.
Thank you. The moon. It is...
I, too, have been concerned about the moon.
Well, this is far superior to your side squatch. This moon that we have orbiting our planet.
Yes, I've seen it.
Well, of course. And it never rotates, but now it is rotating.
It's begun to spin?
Actually, it is vibrating between, attempting to spin in both directions.
Now, that would be a problem.
Well,
I will go out and take a look at it. I've got this new wonderful pair of binoculars.
You need at least a 16-power telescope to see this. It moves only, it began in 1968 when they began to go looking at how they're going to land on the moon for the first time in 69. And what occurred was they saw a 2-foot rotational. And it produced earthquakes on the moon, or moonquakes, we should say, that were equivalent to a 3-point scale. But now it is moving at 17 feet and producing 11-point earthquakes. Do you realize what that would do to Earth?
Where do you get these figures?
I can't be specific, and the reason why I'm calling you is I need to tell somebody. But
well, I'm listening, but I mean, you've got to be able to quote some sources here. I mean,
well, I got a friend at Latney. He's you know that they're making a new type of shuttle.
Yes, I do.
But the shuttle is
X-33, actually.
It is, yes. And it's made to evacuate mankind from the planet.
It is not.
No, it is.
It is not. It's meant to go up and help build the space station. It's not meant for anything but relatively low Earth orbit. Who told you that anyway?
My friend that works at Latney.
Well, then I have now lost all confidence in your friend. It's not meant to evacuate mankind from the Earth. Where does he get this kind of thing? It's meant to provide easy, reusable access to relatively low Earth orbit and to service the space station. I don't know where people get these things. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yeah, Art, this is John in Petaluma, California.
Yes.
I've been listening to you since around November. My ex-wife's husband turned me on to your show, and I love it.
Your ex-wife's husband?
Yeah. We get along great. I mean, it's still family. My son lives with them. He's about the same age as yours. But main reason I tried, I'm at work. Main reason I tried to get a hold of you is your quickening. Have you ever noticed on the beginning of Highlander, it has, like a screen with writing, and it mentions the quickening?
I never did watch the Highlander.
But
everybody's told me about it, so.
Yeah, because right in the beginning it talks about, the battles net and the quickening.
Yep. Yeah, I knew that. I mean, a lot of people have told me that.
Yeah. Anyway, great show, fabulous. And I got to get back off so I can get back to work.
All right, take care. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Oklahoma. I was thinking about that. It was a shame about Dr. Morning Sky. I got one of his tapes, and I really enjoyed it. But I thought it was something similar, like wise people getting harmed like that, and other types of people. Like they had a Japanese American or national and his 13-year-old daughter, and they were laying prey for him and shot him in San Diego. And it was the guy that had the answer to Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's, yeah.
And I thought that was a shame, too.
He was a brilliant researcher in that area, yes.
Yeah, and I heard another thing. There was a lady on the news talking about one time, about a couple weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, some paleontologist, they found, we heard about the diode. They found Spam and hot dogs and everything, like way back when.
Spam?
Something like Spam or hot dogs or something that these cultures had way back.
What?
years and years ago, like millions of years ago.
They found spam from millions of years ago?
Yeah, so it probably was petrified or something.
Petrified spam.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. And I'll try to set up a line for people just like you, possibly tomorrow night.
Coast to Coast AM sure sounds great in the middle of the night. But you know, you don't have to be nocturnal to enjoy this amazing show. The Coast Insider is your key to a normal life. For 15 cents a day, you can wake up refreshed knowing that last night's show is waiting for you with podcasting. Listen on your way to work and again on the way home. Or listen to one of over 1,000 archived shows from the past 3 years. As a member, you'll have access to our monthly live chat sessions with George Noory and special guests. The Coast Insiders Club is a must-have feature for all Coast to Coast AM listeners. Visit coasttocoastam.com to sign up today. You'll sleep like a baby, knowing you'll never miss your favorite guests and topics ever again. Remember, a 1-year subscription comes out to only 15 cents a day. Sign up today at coasttocoastam.com.
Get a new view of the world with Coast to Coast AM.
Give me your perspective on where you think this is heading worldwide. Is this all leading to a one-world government, a new world order, in order to contain what could very well be a planetary-wide uprising?
Well, yes, the governments are preying on the poor people. You know, in most countries, the government is usually controlled by wealthy people. You're seeing very much a situation that's set up to create a violent overthrow of countries.
You're listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time, tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from July 9th, 1996.
Wildcard Line, you're on the air.
Art, it's a pleasure to be speaking with you.
Welcome to the show.
I want to buy like about 6 radios from the Crane Company now from listening to your advertisements, and I can't wait for the catalog. I ordered the free catalog.
Well, you should be getting it shortly.
I can't wait for that to come through.
It's cool, believe me.
But I wanted to ask you, I know you're disillusioned as I am. By the way, this is Mike in Tucson. I wanted to ask you who you would like to be running. I think we'd both agree that a third-party candidate couldn't win, but in your mind, if you could pick a dream candidate for either party or for an independent party, who would you like to see run this race?
Well, I could think of all kinds of people. Really, I could, that I'd rather have running on the right than Bob Dole.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Kemp. Comes to mind. Bill Bennett comes to mind. I really could run through Sam Nunn. I think Sam Nunn would make a great president. Colin Powell, I think, would make a good president because he doesn't really want it. There's just a lot of people. I could think of tons of people that I'd rather have running than the 2 guys we got running now.
Anybody on the left side you'd like to see?
Well, I mentioned Sam Nunn. And there are others on the left, reasonable, middle-planted people who actually have an ideology that seems to settle down in one place and not move around like our current presidents.
Okay.
So I'm just, disillusion doesn't even do justice to the way I feel about what's going on right now.
Well, I completely understand you. It's the first presidential election that I have just been disgusted with. And
I mean, Bob Dole, by the day, is disappointing me. He's not, I haven't even seen a campaign from the guy yet, not what I call one.
No.
And yesterday, he did it again. With the assault weapons thing. He had promised NRA he was going to try to repeal it because it's dumb, and now he's not going to do it.
And the fact that the campaigns on either side are even addressing the tobacco issue when that's so.
Oh yeah, now there's the most serious thing in the campaign. The most serious thing in the campaign so far. The Democrats are going to dress up idiots looking like cigarettes and send them to Bob Dole's campaign rally points.
Right.
Ooh, rough, tough stuff. See you later.
Thanks.
Bye. This whole thing is dumb. If I had to spend 5 hours talking about that, I'd rather shoot myself every day. Really, really dumb. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Did this gentleman from Real Audio mentioning that they were changing your live feed?
No.
That because I got dropped while you were talking to the truck driver, and then when I bring it back up, you graduated to 28.8.
Oh, maybe they, do you have a 28.8 modem?
Yes.
Does it sound different?
Better. Much better.
It sounds better, huh?
Much better.
Well, those are cool people. Real Audio is really something, and it is the future.
But I was surprised they didn't mention it, so they could have warned us that we were going to lose feed from you.
Well, maybe they wanted it to be a surprise.
It was.
Anyway, tomorrow night we will set aside a line for people listening by computer.
Great.
How's that? Is that how you're listening now?
Yes, it is. This is Sharon in Abingdon, Virginia.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's the way I have to get you.
Well, in that case, you've got us better now.
Yes.
All right, my dear.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you later. Way out in Virginia. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi, Art. This is Ross in Phoenix.
Yes, sir.
Listening to you on KFYI. I've got a brain teaser I was hoping you could help me with.
Probably not. I hate those things.
Well, it's a pretty quick one. I think you might like this one. There are 3 words in the English language that end in the letters G-R-Y. 2 of the words are hungry and angry. The third word is something that we know, and we know what it is. What word is it?
Angry, hungry. See, you stole from me the 2 that I could have gone for. I had angry right away.
The closest I've come up with is imagery, but that's actually G-E-R-Y, and I'm just stuck, and I don't know if there's
So are you doing a crossword puzzle?
No, this is something that's got a lot of people baffled and are not sure if it's...
Maybe there is no other...
Exactly. Maybe there is no other word. I don't know if you've ever heard of this question or if any of the listeners out there might have the...
There's almost an E in everything else. Imagery... I don't know.
It's really something.
Well, I'll have the answer by fax or hook or crook, I'm sure, by tomorrow.
All right, I'll be listening.
All right, take care. Maybe it's a word I can't say on the air. First time caller line, you're on the air. Hello? Going once, going twice.
Hello.
Oh, man, you just made it. Who is this?
This is Valerie.
Where are you?
Tacoma, Washington.
Tacoma. Well, glad to have you.
Good. Let's see.
What's on your perky little mind?
My perky little mind is, well, let's see. Where's my list? Here's my list. Guns in the ATF mess.
Guns in the ATF mess?
Well, if a cop decides to invite himself in your house and you're cleaning your weapon in the state of Washington.
Yes.
And you've got all those pieces spread out there.
Yes.
Each piece counts as a weapon.
No.
Yes.
Well, since when in Washington are you not allowed to have a gun in your home?
You could have a gun in your home, but if they are in your home and they're counting weapons, and you have
so in other words,
pistol laid out and you're cleaning it,
yes,
each component will count as a weapon on their inventory.
Don't you think that'd be kind of dumb?
4-letter words, more like.
Yeah. I mean, that's really dumb. I can't imagine ATF agents coming in and counting pieces as guns.
Well, if the state troopers are there, they're the ones that are going to be nitpicky like that. The ATF will probably just go looking for the bigger whole.
Most cops are not, even ATF, are not that ridiculous.
Some of the ones in Western Washington are
that picky?
Bent and crooked.
Have you ever had your gun out cleaning it when the ATF came in?
No, but I had a couple of friends who got in hot water on that, which is how I know.
Really?
Yeah.
And so they charged them with having what?
Well, let's see. It was a 16-piece 16 pieces scattered on the table.
So they charged him with having 16 guns.
16 guns, plus he had 2 that were whole.
I find that a little hard. So that'd be a total of 18, right?
Yeah. I didn't believe him at first either until he brought in another friend of his and verified it.
I really find that a little hard to believe.
Yeah.
But I guess it could be. I mean, but it's kind of like they must have said something terrible to the agent to cause him to get that picky.
That's a very good possibility. He's also a slightly paranoid person to begin with, so just maybe his
so you're calling my
reaction around it was...
you're calling my paranoid line on his behalf then.
Oh yeah, that and the fact that I'm up at 3:30 in the morning.
Afraid somebody's going to knock your door down? Listen, the show's over. You get the honors. You know what the honors are. Do it.
Oh, good night.
No. Good night, America.
Pardon.
Say
good night, America.
Thank you. Good night, America.